necessarily, but I do want you to meet her as she handles all of our domestic violence. So, you guys ready to get started, or do you want to wait a few minutes?
We're good.
Everyone ready? Okay, we'll get started. As I always say, these are mere allegations. The defendant is innocent until or unless proven guilty in a court of law. And that is important to remember because the system works and we uphold that system. I'd like to introduce myself. My name's Chris Lane. I'm the Floyd County prosecutor.
My name's Kristen Purdue. I'm the domestic violence unit deputy.
We created a domestic violence unit specifically about 6 months ago, and Kristen is assigned to our domestic violence cases. And there are allegations of domestic violences in one of these, and that's why I brought her out. I want to concentrate. There are really 4 cases we're dealing with, 2 separate incidents, and I'm going to go in an order. The first order will be on an incident that occurred here in New Albany, July 22nd, 2024. 4 individuals, Jamie Burr, Trevin Burr, and Kamani Stocksdale. Currently, Jamie and Trevon Burr are incarcerated in our jail. Kamani is detained in Louisville, but will be brought at the appropriate time. The incident and all questions I will contain to the charges and to the probable cause. On July 22nd, the allegation is that there was a firefight, basically. An argument ensued between 3 individuals, 2 of them brothers, 1 non-brother. During this argument, shots were fired at each other. The allegations are that there were 2 individuals out on the street, and I'll be providing copies of the probable cause and charges. In those cases, these shots were fired at each other with 2 individuals getting hit. 1 bullet allegedly went through a next door neighbor's home and pierced the outside wall. Now, based on that, this was a highly populated area. I'm going to make you aware of that, and the guns were used in that area. Bring that to the public's attention because that's important. The allegations are that guns were used in our community. We will seek to use the full force of the law to protect our public. Now, I want to go through those charges. Damien Burr is charged with attempted murder, count 1, count 2, criminal recklessness, count 3, pointing a firearm, count 4, pointing a firearm, and then the additional penalty of use of a firearm. You hear that a lot. The legislature in Indiana has allowed us, and that has been charged on all 4 individuals, by the way. The use of a firearm in the state of Indiana in certain crimes, and we believe these allegations meet those crimes, can be up to 20 extra years in prison on top of the sentence. That's up to a judge and jury to decide. But we have filed those because the allegations we believe merit the charges of firearms. Trevon Burr is charged with, and we have filed an amendment, so it's not, to my knowledge, been accepted yet, but we have filed for attempted murder, count 1, count 2, battery by means of a deadly weapon, and count 3, the additional penalty of use of a firearm in certain crimes. Kamani Stocksdale has been charged with aggravated battery, unlawful possession of a firearm by a serious violent felon, and unlawful possession of a firearm by a serious violent felon, and criminal recklessness, and then, of course, count 5 is the additional firearm. And I don't want to gloss over that. That allegation is something we hold dear because that is something we've been given that we utilize. Now I'll move to the next case, and then we'll divide any questions into it. Joshua Thompson, on August 10, 2024, that was Saturday, was charged with murder. The allegation is that he did knowingly or intentionally kill another human being, Caitlin Lee. Count 2, criminal recklessness. By firing, the allegation is he fired into a home and a dwelling. Count 3, invasion of privacy. The allegation is that Joshua Thompson did violate a protective order that was in place to prevent domestic or family violence or harassment. Count 4 is unlawful carrying of a handgun. The allegation is that a handgun was carried at the time this was committed and that there were allegations of a felony outstanding, which under the new law allows us to charge unlawful carrying of a handgun. And then count 5, as I said, contains the additional penalty of a use of a firearm. I want to remind you these are mere allegations and that the defendants, all 4 of them, are innocent or until or unless proven guilty in a court of law. Now, real quick, we'll be able to hand these out to everyone. If you have questions, I'm going to combine to charges. and I'm going to confide to the PC. I'll start with the first case with the 3 individuals shooting on July 22nd. Can we pause for just a sec?
I'm so sorry.
You are fine. Yeah. Your colleagues will do it for you. I'm gonna throw it over to you, so be ready. You shouldn't have came out. You come out, you get to talk.
Wrap this up around someone's microphone.
Is it a slow news day? Busy news day? How's it been?
Oh, I just got in. I think they called me in early, so
Yeah.
just scrambling to get over here. So
The
it's
bridge being closed, just throwing a little.
Which one's
it's
closed?
making everybody wait.
Sure, it's
Just westbound.
Oh, I was gonna say I just went over it. Are you sure? So it's westbound. It's for you guys. Okay.
Just got some complications.
Yeah.
See, verified if I'm late.
You verified. She was late today, so now she's got an excuse.
I saw her.
Okay, I am ready to do it. So
All right.
take it easy.
As I said, these are merely allegations. Defendants are innocent until or unless proven guilty in court of law. I'm going to confine these to 2 sections. We're going to start with the incident on July 10th. That is it's an older case, but I'm sorry, July 22nd, it's an older case, but do you have any questions about that?
I just want to clarify, that was a non-fatal shooting, right?
That was a non-fatal shooting, correct. 2 individuals were shot.
And the shot that went into the house, that was a person that was completely uninvolved with the shooting.
To our knowledge, the evidence indicate that person had nothing to do with it. There was also an additional round allegedly found in a vehicle parked on the street.
Do you have any updates on those victims in the list then?
All the people involved, I'll just say 2 of them are still, to my understanding, receiving medical care. And I will confine it to all the victims are allegedly involved. So they're confined to the 3 individuals involved, allegedly involved. All right, now I'll move it to the more recent one, August 10th, 2024. This is the alleged murder by Joshua Thompson. What questions do you have?
In court today, there was no bond set. Is that common for a murder case? I don't know, some states you have to set a bond no matter if it's super high, or so I guess in Indiana, you can have no bond set, but what does that mean for a case when it's that serious of allegations?
State of Indiana allows us in 2 instances with charges to ask for no bond. It's very limited. Murder or treason are the only 2 we can ask for no bond. In this particular case, and we generally do ask for no bond in murders because we believe the threat to the community is such a nature that we need to protect the community. The legislature has given us that ability to ask for that, and we did. It was granted at this time. They can have a review hearing on it, but at this time, to my understanding, it was granted, and we're thankful for that.
You think the EPO will help you there? The fact that there's an EPO out on it as far as.
I don't want to go too much into that. We did charge invasion of privacy, but as with anything, we take domestic violence allegations seriously, and we're taking them seriously in this case. And it's a tragedy that has occurred regardless. And so this invasion of privacy is charged as an A misdemeanor, and that allegation is very important to us.
Family member we talked to outside afterward of the victim said that she was concerned because there was an EPO out before and she felt like that didn't protect her niece. Is there anything that you all can speak to on that as far as what you all try to do to make sure people are protected if they have those?
It's a great question, Darby. Domestic violence is, and the allegations in this case is such a hard thing because it many times occurs in private. But what we ask people to do, and in this case, if that did occur, that if an EPO was granted and the allegations it was, that's the good first step. But there are many other resources that can be taken. And I'll turn over to Kristen. Kristen, can you give them some of the resources that a domestic violence, alleged domestic violence victim can get?
Sure. With involvement in our office, it's kind of a wraparound incorporation trying to address not only the alleged criminal act that occurred, but also the needs of the community moving forward, specifically where there are children and family involved. Oftentimes in domestic violence cases, lots of domestic violence occurs before it's ever even reported to the police department. Here at our office, we provide them with counseling services free of charge through grant funding. We also make sure that they get in contact, not only with classes involving battery, but if there are substance abuse and alcohol issues involved, that we're directing resources to the right people, so that we can provide the best outcome possible in all these cases. All domestic violence cases are very important. The risk for reoffending obviously is there, but to get everyone that the sources of services that they need to address the family issues is very important.
Thank you. Good question. Any other questions? Sorry. Anything else?
If
Okay.
Kristen can say and spell her name.
Sure.
It's KRISTINPERDUE.
Thank you. Any other questions? And we'll hand out public copies of the information and probable cause affidavits
For both.
for both, for all four. So anything else? All right. Thank you so much for your time. I can talk after if you want to briefly. Or did we get it? Any?
You have time, that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. In no other questions. I don't want to give favoritism. So, all right. Thanks. I'll be right back. Let me get you copies.